Hello, and good evening for everyone. Good morning or good afternoon, wherever you are. It's an evening for me here in London. And thank you very much for joining this group onboarding call. So, while I will do a presentation, I would like to ask to mute yourself so we wouldn't have additional noises. So, if you had no chance to book a one-to-one call with me, this is the onboarding call to show the technical part of the Bodygraph. So today we will be talking about the integration and what steps need to take to be fully onboarded or to have that full setup of the Bodygraph. These steps include the integration to the website, connection of the newsletter part, and making the report templates that are available live. And in today's video, I will demonstrate live exactly how to embed it into the website and how to connect one of the newsletter platforms. So if you're joining this first time, in today's video, I chose to demonstrate the GoDaddy testing website, and also I chose to demonstrate Brevo newsletter platform. You can go, of course, and I probably will start sharing a screen with you. So you can visit the Bodygraph's YouTube channel. There is a session 1, we're still editing, and we'll post a session 2. Session 1 demonstrates the integration to the Squarespace and ConvertKit connection. Session 2 that will go live soon demonstrates the WordPress embedding and the MailChimp. And as I mentioned today, I specifically created a temporary testing GoDaddy website, and also we will be testing Brevo app. Now, the good news is that our integration works with majority of the most popular probably website builders. If most of the website builders allows custom embedding, and that means it is capable to read the script, the embed code. So embed codes at your account upon the subscription are housed at integrate chart section. Now, once you will start a subscription, or if you just recently started a subscription, most likely you will have just one embed code, which is going to be default embed code. I have multiple here, and that means that yourself as well, you can create multiple embed codes for different purposes. For example, I had a demonstration or webinar for the Valentine's Day, so I created Valentine's. Maybe you have separate integrations dedicated, let's say, for general human design public, or maybe you want to separate human design from the astrology integration. So that allows you to create multiple embed codes for the different purposes. I will not go with all the embed codes that I have here in my testing account. For today's video, I will create completely new, just because I want to show you how to create the embed code and what selections do you have. So now you have an option to choose whether you want to have a standalone embed code, which is at the drop down. So this is the form that is going to be facing your client first when they will visit your integration. So you can switch it if you're I don't know, your clientele mostly interested in astrology, so maybe you want to have that facing first chart submission form to be astrology chart, or human design traditional, or maybe relationships, or you can have multiple integrations. And for today's demonstration, just I'm going to choose every single possible chart. So it's going to be mandala, relationship, cycle, transits, and astrology. And you will see later how it looks integrated. After I select all of these options, I click next, and my embed code is ready to go, basically ready to be embedded. Now, depending on the website builder that you use, you might need to change the type of the embed code. So With majority of the websites, it will be any platform embed code, but specifically for Wix, we have a Wix embed code, and for the Podia, we have also different embed code. If you will visit our help center, we have the group of articles dedicated for the chart integrations, and there you will find a list of the most probably popular platforms that our customers use, and step-by-step guides, visual guides, and video tutorials on how to get the chart integrated to your website. Now, if you cannot find the guide here and you're using some different platform, and let's just say maybe you tried the any platform embed code, which is iframe script code, it might be that your platform will support Podia. Even though it says Podia, that doesn't mean that this code can be used only at the Podia platform. For instance, this code works with the Canva landing pages. I tested it myself personally just to see if that works, and it does. So that means that if you testing your website that is not listed at our, let's say, help center, because there is no way that we can test every possible website builder, try embedding first any platform embed code, and then if it doesn't work or if your website builder does not recognize this embed code, try either Wix or Podia embed codes as well to see if that is going to work. Now, prior to the integration, I mean, there are two types of the clients. People who think business and want to have integration as quick as possible up and running. That means that you will not go too much into details and you will have the embed code live at your website, newsletter connection as quick as possible, and in the default colors and default language, which is going to be English upon the creation of the embed code. So because you can update those colors and language and make any setting adjustments as you go. Once the chart is embedded, you don't need to re-embed it. You can make the changes to the attached design. In this case, I have a default design attached. That means that at a later date, at my convenience, I can go to default design and make adjustments to the chart colors, to the submission colors, fonts, change the settings, enable email fields, disable email fields, and all additional changes that I want to make here. And as soon as you will make changes here, since your embed code is going to be already live at your website, that will automatically transfer to your website. However, if you're very cautious about the appearance of the chart integration and you say, okay, that doesn't work for me and I want to be super branded and in my brand colors and whatever, then the first steps that we would need to make is actually creating the design that you desire and that it perfectly blends into your website's theme, changing the settings of the result page. And once that ready, then you come in creating the embed code and attaching that desired design that you created or edited to the embed code. And same with the language. Maybe you don't like English language. Upon the subscription, you will have a quite few languages there selections to be able to select German, English, Chinese, Spanish, Portuguese, Italian. So you might select the default language that is already available, or maybe you say, okay, no, I want to make my own unique language, my own unique translation. Then it will be one step to take before the integration. And that means you can go in to the language and edit the labels and descriptions if the language carries description. My one specifically, this one has the descriptions. So that means I can go and edit the wording into my unique way of presenting the human design or astrology, for example, or relationships. The fastest way actually to make edits is to export the original language, whether it's going to be English. We have quite a few languages with the descriptions available. Definitely English and German. I think also we have other languages available. This is my testing account, so I don't have a lot of languages here, but we have quite a lot of choices of languages with the descriptions already. Certainly English and German. So the quickest way to edit the language would be not by pressing pencil icon on each label here, but exporting the file, which will download the Excel file for you. And once the file is exported, that will export the default values. So all the labels that are included in English language for human design, for astrology, for relationship, and then you can make translations on the right hand side. So this is original value. You can make the translations and edits on the content. I just exported empty language, so that's why it's empty. Your English language automatically, for example, will have a description. So that means you can make edits for the label, for the outcome, for the description. Save the file. Just bear in mind that no additional rows or columns can be added and no additional tabs can be created, because that will break the file, and importation that will be no available. So only edit the available values on this side of the file. And once the file is ready, you can import that file into My Content, which will not override any of your existing languages. It will create completely new language, which will be accessible just at your account, so no one else can see it. Therefore, you can create absolutely unique way of delivering human design, astrology, or relationships. And then once the language is ready, again, come back to the embed codes that we just created today and attach that newly created language, for example, to your embed code. So if you're super cautious about how you deliver the human design, then language editing and the design editing should be done prior to their integration. So now when I have like my desired language and design attached to my embed code, we can go ahead and embed it into the website. And in this demonstration, I have a GoDaddy website. So specifically at the GoDaddy, integration is by adding a section. If I remember correctly, that would be files and web, HTML, add, and then I will paste the custom code in the custom code field. And as you can see, that's pretty much it. The chart integration is live. Obviously, I need to publish and make this accessible and available for our customers. Now, you need to make a decision where the chart will appear at your website. I would say it should be as if this is your main sales, if you want to generate the sales through the integration, sales of the reports, then chart calculator should be easily accessible. Now, this is quite common mistake that customers got the websites with a lot of call to action buttons, the lots of menus, and human design chart is somewhere, basically I need to click 2 or more times to actually access it and find the chart calculator. That significantly reduces the chance for you to generate the sales of the reports. So as easier is for your clients to access the chart calculator, the more chances that you will generate the automated report sales. So keep that in mind when you're choosing the location where the chart integration will be. That should be ideally somewhere at the homepage so people can easily find it, or it should be with one click max reachable chart. So maybe at the homepage would be call to action button, generate your chart, and that will lead to the landing page where the chart integration is. So that's highly advisable when you integrating the chart into your website. Now, the next step, so when the chart is live, obviously, I don't want to miss the chance to collect the leads. emails of the customer. This is very important for your marketing purposes, for your marketing strategies and email sequences that you will build, funnels that you will build. So not to lose the lead, it's very important that your design, as I showed slightly earlier, would have that email field enabled at the settings. So my one has. You instantly will start collecting the data at the statistics. And you will be able to see the email of the customer that run the chart, and you will be able to see the name of the customer who run the chart. The problem, not really the problem, but functionality of the statistics is that we keep this data here for 90 days only, meaning that as soon as the that submission hit that 90 days mark, it gets deleted from our servers. So you might choose periodically to export the leads and, I don't know, collect it elsewhere or import it into any systems that you use. But that's not really convenient. And there is not much data that you collect here. It's just basically name and email. That's what you get from this collection. Statistics is valuable to see if there is any activity on your integration, if you see if there's someone downloads your PDFs, if there is someone downloads of free reports, if there are any reports sold, for example. So this data shows the activity on your integrations, and you can see which reports, for example, are most popular. So maybe you will run the sale on the less popular reports. So that gives you a good most recent, I mean, past 3 months insight into your business, so you can make the decisions of what to do with your integrations and how to promote it and so on. But if you want to collect the data about the customer, and that's we're coming to the step 2, it is advisable to connect the newsletter app. Now we have quite a wide range of the apps available, probably most popular apps, newsletter apps that are on the market, we have the integrations with. Now don't get discouraged if you cannot see your app available here, if you already have the app. Because it might be still possible to connect via webhook, and for an example, platforms such as make.com, or use the Zapier. So make.com and webhook and Zapier can be used as a bridge. If your platform, for example, is compatible with the Zapier, that means you can make that zap, for example, at the Zapier, to be triggered when someone runs the chart and send the data to the your system that you have. Now, if you will choose one of our integrations, great thing is that it allows you to collect not just an email of the customer, but it allows you to attach the tags. Now, not all the apps that we have integration with has the tags availability. It's just because every platform has a different API. So, for instance, we do recommend Kit. Bodygraph uses Kit. It has the functionality, for example, to attach the tags. What tags does? Tags allows you to sort the subscribers. So for instance, if you want to send very targeted emails for type generators only, tags allows you to sort those subscribers at your newsletter platform and send those very targeted emails specifically for generators. Now, how it differs from the customer fields allows you to collect additional data about the customer. So not just an email and name, but you can collect the date of birth, the place of birth, the link to the chart, which is amazing. And it does not expire. That means you can set up the automations, for instance, welcome email, which will say, hi, thanks for generating the chart. This is the link to your chart. And that is a good idea to have a setup. The reason being, because when you share the link to the chart, customer knows that they have that Human Design or Astrology chart already in their pocket, usually, because we have our mobile phones, we have usually our email there open. So when they will come across the human design or astrology topic, let's say elsewhere on the event or with the friends or with the family members, they will remember that, oh, I have my chart in my email, so I just can click on that link or the call to action button, and I don't need to submit the form anymore. I will open my chart. So more likely than they will recommend exactly your website as well to the friends or family or the event to run the chart as well. So you're kind of hooking the customer in. So that's a good idea to have that automation, instant automation set to send that chat URL. Also, additional information such as the type, profile, strategy, authority. When you're building the email automation, it allows you to include this information in email. So you can say hello blank and replace that blank with a code that will pick up on the customer's name. This is the link to your chart, blank, and did you know that your type is blank? So that means blah, 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 blah. So this makes emails super personalized. So customer feels that you're actually talking with them because you're including their information in the email, and that always feels way better than the generic marketing emails that customers usually receive a lot in their emails whenever they purchase anything online. So it's very good to actually personalize email and include that personal information in the chat in the emails, and that helps massively to market your business and to build the funnels. And what do I mean by funnels? This is a little bit like a phishing game. So maybe you have that instant welcome email where you don't promote anything else, anything your paid services. You're just basically thanking them for generating the chart, sharing the link to their chart. Maybe second email after a few days, say like, oh, hey, I saw you generated a chart a few days ago. Did you see I have a few offerings there? If no, here is the link. I can again include the link. Here is the link again. Open it. Have a look what I have to offer. Maybe fourth link after a week, third link email after the week or two, and say, hey, if you haven't had a chance yet, I have this and this and this service to offer. So we're basically warming up with the customer, and the later email in the sequence that means the more straightforward offer, paid offer, can be sent for the customer. So that is good idea also to have, because our customers also mentioned that most of the sales happened when they have this email automation set, because it warms up the customer, especially if you have, for example, sortation or automations, when still through the emails you're sharing the valuable information, like you're saying, hello, did you know that you type this and this? That means most likely you having this and this challenge in the life, for example, and the solution would be this. Do you want to find out more? Schedule a meeting with me. So you continuously giving them valuable information, which of course, because you're talking about them, they like it, and of course then you can offer for them paid reports eventually. So that's very big marketing part. And in today's video, I specifically selected to connect to Brevo. Now, as you can see, the Brevo does not have a tags, but it has a custom fields. And even if the platform does not have a tags, usually automations within the app allows you to to build the automation. For instance, when incoming subscriber has the data attached generator, attach the tag, for example, generator. So that means that you would build tagging automation within the platform. So that applies for Brevo, for Kajabi, I know as well that you can build the tagging automations, and quite a lot of platforms that allows you to build various automations within the platform itself. So that is a step 2. And the connection is pretty easy. I mean, I can do it from scratch. So in today's video, as I said, I have a Brevo app ready. So I'll go next. I'll say Brevo onboarding. and then I need to find an API key. So I'll head it to my Brevo testing account, settings, API, and API keys. This is where the API keys live. Now, if you just setting the new account with the Brevo, you might not have any API keys at all. So you might need actually to generate new API key. So I'll generate as well new one, copy, come back to Bodygraph, paste it, save it, test the connection. When you're testing the connection, that usually indicates if everything is okay and API key is correct. Sometimes if you paste it with the spaces before or after the credentials, that might cause an issue. So if you see the error, there are two possible issues: whether there is a space before or after credential, or credential is incorrect. So now I can select the list, and I have a few lists at Brevo already preset. And if you have already several lists, let's say at your newsletter app, you can create completely separate list dedicated for Bodygraph subscribers. That means then you can separate the email sequences as well. Once the list is selected, save and send test data. So once that's done, test data sent successfully means that at the Bodygraph, Brevo contacts, I will find the Alex account. This is the testing data, and I can check if that sends the additional information, for example, about the subscriber. Now, I have also automation set, and this is exactly what I spoke a little bit earlier. So I have automation set within the Brevo to get that welcome email, just to demonstrate on this onboarding call. So when contact is added to specific list, to that list that you, for example, create dedicated for Bodygraph, then send an email, and then email customization is here. Now, the email customization allows you to include the chat URL, as I said. In this case, specifically in Brevo, it's called absolute link, and it looks like this, like a code. Now, this integration of the chat URL into email will vary depending on which app you will be connecting here. Okay, so that will be different integration of the email. Some of the platforms will need a single curly bracket and will say subscriber.chat_URL. ActiveCampaign, for example, I know has a percentage sign on each side instead of curly brackets. So you need to basically refer to your selected app guides and help center, and to find out how to include custom fields into the email. And in this case, in Brevo, as I said, this is how it looks like. And once the email is sent, the customer receives an email. Obviously, I just dropped very quick testing email, so my one does not look anywhere near too nice or completed. And when customer will get this email, they can click on that call to action button. Oh, I did something. I delete the embed code probably that was included in this testing email. That would open the customer's chart automatically. Now, bear in mind, this is as well can be mistake. So this setup was done slightly earlier with completely different embed code. I was sorting out just to tidying up basically because I was inviting guests in my beautiful messy actually account. So I deleted the embed code that probably had that setup. So bear in mind that if you have any automations done at the account, have a look that the embed code and the setup in the Bodygraph is linked, is not actually deleted, because I deleted means that the links will no longer work for your customers as well. So if something that you say, okay, I might discontinue or delete it, that means customers who ran the chart and received the emails and automations and any email sequences that include the chart URL simply won't work anymore. So need to be very cautious of what actually is deleted. I don't need to be cautious because that's my testing account. Of course, I can mess around, but this is the reason why it does not open for me a chart at the moment. But that would open the chart, so that means they wouldn't need to fill the form again. They only would need to click that link and the chart will be open for them. What the customer would see, they will open the chart and they will see the chart with all the setup that you already made, and it can include as well the reports that you have to offer. So that means they can come back if they change their mind and purchase one of your offerings, for example, and they wouldn't need to struggle through going through the subscription form again. Okay, so that's step 2. Now, step 3 is actually offering something at the integration, and your subscription includes some of the reports that already ready-made with a content. So if we go to the lead magnets, we have quite few lead magnets here. Now, specifically, Valentine's and relationship reports require to have a relationship integration. So let's go to our, let's just go maybe on the preview mode so I can demonstrate for you. So you would need for that specifically relationship form, which is for 2 people. So those 2 lead magnets only work if you have that at your integration, the 2 people form, because these reports work slightly different. It's for 2 people. Human design activations rather than 1, and this is the individual reports. Now all this content, all of these reports are with the content and they are fully editable except Karen's report, which is only first page and last page editable to add your branding. The rest of it is copyrighted and signed by Karen. But you are free to install and use it and upsell it into your shop. So you basically would need to select your preferred format and install into your editor. Once that is installed in your editor, then you can open the report, make some changes, change the cover page, add your logos, add your brand here so it looks more like you, edit the colors to match the color scheme at your website. So as I said, you can make the lead magnets or reports look exactly like your branding. So these come with the content. Now you can offer it, we're calling it lead magnets. So we providing these templates with the content for you to offer as a freebie, but feel free to sell it. It's completely your choice. When it comes to the detailed reports, the most detailed reports that we have for you for free to use that comes with the subscription price is Midnight Dunes and Karen's reports. They are similar in the structure. They have types, type, strategy, authority, and defined centers. And the difference is that this is written in traditional human design language and this one is in quantum human design language. And again, this one is fully editable. And Karen's report is only first and very last page editable to add your branding. Now, also we have some premium reports. Premium reports require single payment for the installation, and currently we run this sale on these premium reports. So that's not a subscription, that is just a single payment for the installation. After installation, you can duplicate the report, multiply it, make various versions of it. So your completely choice. What we have available, probably most detailed report that we have, generic detailed report, is universe report. So it has channels, gates, incarnation cross, definition, type, strategy, centers, authority. So and you can go into the preview mode and see some pages, an example of what is included, how is it worded, And don't be discouraged by this by design of the report, because I said this is fully editable, so you can completely change the backgrounds and everything to match your actually branding. But you can see some pages with the content here to see what the report includes. Now, if your business also includes the people who like entrepreneurs or business people, then maybe a good idea to use the business compass and talent blueprint. Business compass is like basically your business profile that tells you uh, how you are in as an entrepreneur or business person, based on your type, on centers, on gates and channels that has the most impact in your business. So that is included in the business compass, versus the talent blueprint goes very deep into the gates within defined and undefined centers. So this is two different reports, which is more focused for the business people and whoever working with entrepreneurs. And also we have mini kids report, and we have some astrology insights report as well, which includes, I think, the zodiac sign, ascendant, the rising sign. So again, you can go into preview mode and have a look. What does that include? So once you have reports ready, whether it is from the templates, or you can go ahead and create your own report, no problem at all. Once the report's ready, all you would need to do is to go, if they are free, to go back to the embed code. And again, you will come back to this embed code many times. I like to call it control panel. You basically telling your embed code, okay, I want to use this language, okay, I want to use this design. And then you're saying, okay, I want this report to go live. So this is like your control panel to tell your embed code what to do. So if the reports are free, it's just as easy as coming and enabling the reports and making them live. And when someone runs the chart, they see that, report widgets are available at the chart. Now, if you want to payment for those reports, if they are not free, you also will require to connect the payment app. And these are the payment handling apps that we currently have. Now, business website payment app is specifically created for the business website. So if you're not using business website, or you're just integrating to your website, then basically you have four options for the payment handling apps. WooCommerce also dedicated for the WordPress website. So if you're using any other platform than WordPress, you're basically left with the three platforms to choose from: Stripe, PayPal, and Thrivecart. Now, Thrivecart, I heard that is quite expensive. PayPal and Stripe are very similar. They got very similar percentage of the commission that they charge. Opening the account completely free. There is no subscription price. Commissions are very similar. But the significant downside of the PayPal is that PayPal does not have a discount code system in place. So if you want to run any sales, that means that if you're using PayPal account, that's not going to be possible. Probably majority of our customers using this Stripe. So just a quick tips to make your decision which payment method to use. Now, you can use multiple payment methods if you want, but that would mean that you would have two widgets of the same report, because the report can have only one payment method attached per report widget. That means you can actually duplicate the report, exact same report, and then maybe attach the information in the description and say, okay, this report, for example, requires debit or credit card, which is from Stripe, and then this is the PayPal checkout. So you would have, instead of one, for example, widget, you would have two different widgets of the result page, which one information will say that this is dedicated for PayPal checkouts, and another one for, let's say, debit or credit cards, which is through the Stripe. So you can have multiple payment methods, but cannot be merged into one widget. Now, what makes these reports automated? How this knows what information to show, basically. So when you're building the report, and I have here specifically Midnight Dunes, obviously I was messing around, so showing something for another customer, and I have a lot of additional pages here. What it automates is this little rectangle above each page. So generic page such as cover page, obviously you want everyone to receive it, so you will keep it visible for everyone. It's set by default, new created pages visible for everyone. But once you will build the content specifically on the human design or astrology activation, it is important to click on that rectangle. Menu pops up on the right hand side. So that means, okay, my page right now, I just build, let's say, for the type generator. So I'm saying that only type generators will get this page into this report. Next one, manifesting generator, and like this for every single human design or astrology as well. There is a different tag for the astrology. So let's say for each zodiac sign, for each, let's say, planet and house system. So what system then does when someone runs that chart integration, that chart calculator on your website, it cherry picks and combines the PDF for your customer from pages that are visible for all, such as intro pages, and then it picks up customer's activation. This is my testing date of birth, so it is generator. As you can see, it skips to the authority page, then it skips to the profile page, and you do not see any other profiles or any authorities, other authorities or the generators. This is how the automation works. That page visibility basically tells the system when someone runs the chart based on the date of birth and location and the properties, depending on what you will include in those reports, it will cherry pick and combine that customized report for the customer. So this is the final step of the integration, to have the reports ready. So to have it up and running as quick as possible for to get the Bodygraph subscription to pay back, ideally you would need integrate as quick as possible, enable email field, connect a newsletter so you start collecting the leads while you're working at the back end, and also enabling the reports that we already have available. Maybe one as a freebie, others for sale. Midnight Dunes is quite good mid-range report. You can offer it as a sold report, so to generate some revenue and make Bodygraph to pay back for you. And then once that is up and running, ideally, then you can go and make adjustments to the design, adjustments to the language, start building your own unique reports. Well, yes, we do provide some content and some ready-made, even premium reports. Rely only on these reports is obviously not sustainable. The key to the success is to offer something unique, something different that other readers do. So think about, and niching down your business is important, because niching down your business makes it way easier for you to make any business decisions, later business decisions, whether it's going to be what kind of reports to build or what marketing strategies to choose. For instance, if I don't know niche, if I go generic, well, first of all, it's very hard to stand out, because I can Google generic, what's my type and what's my center, and all that kind of information. So if you offer something unique, and I know my niche, when I know my niche, I know what sort of problems or challenges they're coming across in their life. So if you can offer those solutions through the astrology or human design, and you can build the reports that offer the solutions for those specific challenges in the life for your specific niche, that is the key to the success, because that is unique. This is something I cannot Google, right? So you basically would make not just information for the customer, and that's what customers usually struggle with. Yes, they discover maybe shocking and very eye-opening the human design and astrology. A lot of people struggle to put that in practice in their life. So, meaning that you, as a human design or astrology reader, uh, you are like a coach. You are the lens for the customer. You are the coach for them to guide and say how to put this in practice, whether it's going to be through the reading reports or through one-to-one sessions that you will run for the customer. So now we have 15 minutes left. The presentation is done. I have now some time for the questions, and I see that some questions probably in the chat. So I'll go through and see if there are any questions for me. Okay, so question from Tammy. Yes, you can use a system. So we have, I test the system so you can embed into system, and also we have a guide at the help center how to integrate into system, and we have system as well app integration. So that means you can make direct integration to your newsletter platform at the system and collect the leads there as well. Okay, there is an option that says source at the tags. For instance, in the kit, source attaches the tag Bodygraph. So that means if you, for example, collecting the subscriber and it has type, tag attached Bodygraph, means that you can differentiate the subscribers from elsewhere. If, let's say, you're using your newsletter platform, and newsletter platforms has great integrations, pop-ups, the social media forms, and all that kind of thing. So you can collect the leads from everywhere you can. And this specifically source tag allows you to differentiate the subscribers and sort them that they're coming from Bodygraph. Whilst some of the platforms, as I mentioned, do not have the option to have a tag source attached. So the good idea actually but most of the platforms allows you to differentiate into specific group or list within your app. So that's the way then differentiate a subscriber. Now, when you purchase, when your customer purchase the paid reports, there is an option, and this is something that I probably will show and come back to the sharing my screen. So we do not, the Bodygraph does not offer option to deliver, as I said, chart that has to be set up at your newsletter platform, and it does not offer to email delivery for free reports. So if you offer freebies, your clients gets the instant download, and there is no option to set the email delivery. Whilst the paid reports, you can set up email delivery, whether using Bodygraph domain, and all you would need to input is anything that comes before at and nothing else. Please avoid spaces or any random symbols here. Simple word info, or it can be your business name or your personal name, and that's all. The downside of using Bodygraph's domain, that often it lands into the spam folder. So customer would say like, okay, I didn't get the, let's say, report. So first of all, when payment goes through, and if you have this setup done, means after payment, they redirect it to the result page and pop up with the download button comes up for them. Plus, they should receive an email with the link to their report. That link has an expiration date of the 14 days. So that's something that you might also inform the customers to download their report within that window. Also, you can set up the email delivery with your own domain. Now, if you will set up delivery with your own domain, you will need to verify that domain by adding 2 records into your domain DNS dashboard. Once that added, that means that emails that will be delivered, and this is a better choice probably if you have your own private domain, because that is the less chance that a email will land into the spam folder, or even in some cases trash folder, depending on what filtration level the client has in their email provider. So this is possible to set up at the Bodygraph. Okay, so question, can you download these templates and send to Canva? So no, there is no option to download the ready-made templates and send to Canva, and vice versa. There is no option to import the Canva ready-made reports into Bodygraph's reading report editor. The reason being that our reports are not just a simple textual file. It has that whole mapping behind, the whole calculator behind, that page visibility calculator, which automates and cherry picks the pages. So it's a little bit more complicated and complex tool rather than just a visual that Canva file does. So and we do have customers sometimes exporting the pages from the Canva as the images and uploading to report. This is highly unadvisable to do, especially that Canva has very high quality setting by default to export the images. So if you upload a lot of images to our report editor, first of all, that will affect the size of the report, and naturally that will affect the preview speed, the download speed for you and for your customer. And if the files are way too large, let's say if like your files altogether will be 100 or more megabytes, most likely that will crash the report. So ideally the reports must be built with our report editor. You can build the brand kit and upload the elements that you usually use at the Canva, such as, I don't know, frames, borders, logos, color codes, fonts. So that can be used whilst you're building the reports in the report editor within Bodygraph. I lost, where was the question? Okay. Okay, so for Podia, we do not have a Podia newsletter integration, or there is no option to connect Podia directly. Now, if I did not test the Podia with the Zapier, I am not sure. That's the same applies to the Squarespace. I know that Squarespace as well has their emailing system. The problem is that Squarespace, for instance, they do not have an API to link or to build for us integration, and same with the Zap, it does not work. So I'm not sure. I need to probably go. Zapier is free to test it, so probably the best way is to go and test it and try to connect to Podia. But as far as I know, customers who are using Podia, our customers who use Podia, I haven't seen them using the Podia emailing system. Usually they use a different app. So the answer might be that they actually using different platform because it's not compatible with the Zapier as well. Okay, so tell me, if you stuck with the verification of your domain, it can be various reasons why the email and delivery is not verifying. So the sometimes, I mean, this guide is only generic. Obviously we cannot prepare the guide for every single domain provider. So some domain providers, for specifically for the first record, do not like when your domain is added. So try, if this does not verify, try removing dot and the human design, your domain basically. So keep just the first part into the name field, and that should verify. Some platforms or some domain providers does not like at all any information in the name field, and they prefer the symbol at. That's all they want. So experiment first by removing the dot and domain, and then if it still does not verify, come back here. Try to click verify multiple times. If it still does not verify, then try to replace with the symbol at. Now the second domain, again, it can be that it requires the symbol at the name, but very often this does not verify when you have another V equal SPF1 records at your DNS records. If you have more than one record that like this, then that means that it has to be merged. How to merge? That means that you would keep only one record of the V equal SPF1 and then copy from other records this part, include, and whatever it says after include. So basically you would say include, in this case, mailgun.org, and then I would make space, and again include blah, 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 space, include blah, 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 and then finish with that all. So if you have multiple, let's say 3 domains that starts with this intro, only these parts need to be copied into one, and then another 2 additional records deleted. So merging them will verify this domain. Again, it says 24, 48 hours. Usually it's way quicker. I never saw it taking that long. Never saw it taking more than 10 minutes. With these adjustments, you should be able to verify your domain. Okay, so that's a conversation about this app. Yes, I'm not sure, cannot actually answer the question about the Podia, because of course you need to test it, create a Zapier account and test it with the Podia, or maybe reach out to the Podia support and see if they are compatible, and actually I'm able to create a contact. The most important thing that a platform that you're trying to connect with, either webhook or the Zapier, would have an API and capability to add the contact to your app. If they do not have a required API, even if they have integration, for instance, as I said, example, Squarespace, they do have Squarespace integration, but just to add the product, not the actual contact, because they do not have that API. So yeah, and best probably would be to reach out to their support. Okay, any more questions? You can also unmute yourself and ask the question directly if you want. We have a couple of minutes before I actually wrap up this meeting. Now, if you still feel that you need a one-to-one meeting, go ahead. I will drop actually the link to my meeting calendar, so you can go ahead and still schedule one-to-one meeting. Now, on one-to-one meeting, difference is that I first ask what platforms do you use, and then usually demonstrate specifically platforms that you use, so it's more customized and answered all the questions that you have. Yes, Tammy.
Okay, so my question was, once they download the report, say they lose the report, like I'm building, by the way, my son is in gate 41 as well. So I think you can understand what I'm throwing down here. My report is huge, it's massive. But say they lose it.
Mhm.
How can I support them to re-download something they've already purchased?
Okay, so first of all, within your to protect yourself, you should have very strong terms and conditions and saying like that you're not responsible for any accidental deletion. Okay, so that's very first thing. Yes, of course, it's very nice to support and download them, or at least be very clear and say that if the deletion happens, for example, within 90 days, because that's exactly how long you will be able to access the purchases at the statistics. Okay, so that means that you can also put into your policy that, you know, either you're not responsible for accidental deletions at all, or this is the place where you can find the customer by the email and name, download the report manually, and email for the customer in case if they delete it. But that's going to be available within that 90 days window. So that's something that you want to probably mention in your policies.
Yeah, so then so what I guess what I'm saying is, they receive the email
Mm-hmm.
of their report, but then I'm going to have a nurture email sequence, and I want to give them the opportunity to download it again just in case, because many people download a bunch of stuff, they lose it, and they're like,
Mm-hmm.
right. So it's not that I want to be responsible for it, but I just want to make sure that you know, if it went to junk or whatever, and then they get my nurturing emails, that they have the opportunity to download it again.
Okay, so because email that is set up for the report delivery is not coming from your, let's say, app integration. So your newsletter and the report delivery is completely two different systems. So there is no option to automate resending the link, for example, to their report after a certain amount of days or whatever. You can manually come and resend that link for the customer manually, but there's no option to automate that process.
Oh, that's what I didn't understand, was
Yeah.
that the report comes from the, so we create that email, the link email, which I'm going to do with my guy today. And so then it's my Bodygraph that sends them the email with the link to their report. It's not through System, which is where I use. And then, so that is why it was important for me not to have type as the contact or the but rather source, right? Using source, my Bodygraph source, rather than type. Okay, perfect.
Yeah. Any more questions for me? Okay, so we're out of time, and I will not keep you for any longer. So thank you very much for joining this call. As I said, if you still feel that you need a one-to-one session, feel free. There is a link in the chat. Feel free to schedule one. And there is a live chat. There is an email. Bear in mind there is a time difference. Our team mainly based in Europe. I'm based in London. I'm the one probably you will be talking a lot because I'm the first person you face when you reach the customer service. So bear in mind that there is a time difference, and I do sleep sometime, right? So I work during the London work office hours, but I certainly will answer within 24 hours. Ask any questions, tech related, non-tech related, because I see the tendencies, I see what works for customers, what doesn't work. So if you want share any ideas and think is this a good idea, maybe some brainstorm sessions, and you know you want to find some workarounds, feel free to reach out and I will be more than happy to help. Now, I'm wishing you all the best in your businesses, and I will finish this session then. Enjoy your morning, evening, afternoon, whatever is left for you. Thank you. Bye-bye.